Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. Francois Simard, the Tank RC on YouTube, has been organizing something called Parking Lot Wars, and he's doing this on every last Sunday of the month in a parking lot, and what we've been doing is running 1/10 scale on-road cars. The first Parking Lot Wars. Whoa! Between the cones, this is Kyosho versus Kyosho, FAZER versus FAZER. Who has the fastest out-of-box, ready-to-run 1/10 scale on-road car? And it is not Traxxas. Not that there's anything bad about those cars. Those cars are extremely well built. I do like the Fortec platform in general, the 2.0 and the 3.0. The 3.0 is a little bit longer. Traxxas only has about 4 different models that you can get a Fortec in right now, whereas Kyosho has at least probably 8 different vehicles that you can currently choose on the market right now that use their FAZER Mark II platform. And that's what I've chosen. So I went for the Kyosho FAZER Mark II long wheelbase in the Toyota Tundra WideBody. So yeah, this is my choice. This is going to be the box stock brushed vehicle that I chose. Now the Kyosho models, the FAZER models like this, they currently go out of the box on 2S, clock them at 26 miles an hour on the Kyosho FAZER range, versus the Traxxas Fortex go around 24 miles an hour range. The associated Apex, shockingly very slow, only 17 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour top on the Apex units, that whether it be the Sport or the full fat Apex, and those are significantly more than these. So not to throw any shade on associated, but that chassis looks really nice, but it is not geared appropriately for high-speed fun. So these Kyoshos are. You can get them in old muscle car style, you can get them in JDM style, or you can get this, which is the Toyota Tundra 2021 body style set. These FAZER Mark IIs come with everything you need except for the LiPo battery and the AA's. So you do get a radio, you get a receiver, you get oil-filled shocks, you get ball bearings, you get a brushed motor, 550 size brush motor, a 60 amp ESC, a waterproof steering servo. So the other reason why I chose the Tundra is there's currently only a couple of models that are on the market right now that do not have VTA style tire. So the tire tread pattern that you get on a lot of their muscle cars doesn't really last very long. So the tire tread that's on this one is more of an on-road style tire that I'm used to. So I've already taken it out of the box here because it's zip tied into the box. I'm just going to set the box down here. Also, I did purchase that from a local hobby shop that had it in stock, 110 Hobbies in Pembroke, Ontario. If you're looking for Kyosho stuff, these guys tend to carry quite a lot of it. Alright, so here it is. I have not even done the peel yet, but we will just set it here on the stand here, and we'll do the peel right now, and we'll get to take a quick look at it. Now, a friend of mine has this vehicle in real life, although his is not a crew cab. He has a very unique Tundra in this sort of color. He has a red. I'm not sure if it's this exact Infernal red, but he has it in red, and he has the 2-door long box. And then he's also de-chromed it so it looks very much like this. If you've ever seen it in the background of some of my older videos, a red Tundra. So that is also part of the reason why I got this. He's probably pretty excited to see it run. He doesn't live close to me, but we'll show it to him eventually. So yeah, this is the Toyota Tundra WideBody, and it's pretty cool that it comes with all this plastic aero on it. You know, a truck is not maybe the best choice for a parking lot style race, but compared to some of the other options that are on the market right now, there's like GTO and muscle cars and a Fairlady Z type body. I think this one is going to actually be very good for aerodynamics, as it's got the wide body stance. Like, look at the flares that it's got going on. It has a rear diffuser, rear spoiler on the cab and the bed. I think it'll have a very good on-road handling. And as part of this race series that Frank the Tank is doing, the brushed vehicles, you can do no upgrades to them. No upgrades whatsoever. So you have to run them as they come. So let me just pop the body pins off here. We'll take a look under the hood. The other nice things about these Kyoshos is that the bodies, no matter what one you choose, are all very nicely detailed with some scale accessories. So in this case, you get side mirrors, There are actually light buckets in this body in behind the stickers. They do have a sticker over the front, but if you do ever want to add an LED light kit, they come kind of LED ready with light buckets front and rear. And this is the inside of the body. Also clear windows. It's got a tinted sticker, but I very much appreciate any ready-to-run RC that comes with clear windows. It does increase the scale factor of it quite a bit. So here is the FAZER Mark II chassis. This is called the, an even longer name than that. They're like FAZER Mark II FOZL, I think, is the long wheelbase. The long wheelbase is cool because this is a truck and it makes sense, but some of the other muscle-y type cars are using this chassis as well. You can quickly identify if it's a long chassis or not by if it has these plastic covers over the center section in front of the motor. So if you cannot see the speed control and all the wiring that is normally just free floating in there, you have a long wheelbase because it covers it up. The one possible downside to the long wheelbase is that there is a fairly long plastic center drive shaft in here, and it is not bearing carried, so there's going to be a lot of flex on that drive shaft like that, but it does okay from what I've seen. Here's what I mentioned about the tire. It does seem like a stickier tire compound. There appears to be no foams inside though. They're glued to the rim, and that has a faux brake caliper as part of the hex system. You also get additional hexes with this vehicle. When you get the book and the manuals and stuff, they give you the book, the manual, very minimal sticker sheet, as well as in here you get some basic hand tools, but you get 5mm hex spacers that have a brake disc on them, so that you can bump out the wheelbase on this from 190mm wheelbase to 200mm wheelbase. So it would bump out each tire 5mm if you want to run a 200mm body. They come out of the box at 190mm, and the tires are fairly flush to the body. If you did add the 5mm hex, you would have some poke, so I don't think you necessarily want to have poke. It could damage the tire. So I'm going to run it stock at 190mm to start and see how the handling goes. Again, I can't do anything to this. You have to keep it box stock. The modification car is going to be the Fortec 2.0, so I can do whatever I want to the Fortec. This has to stay box stock for this racing rules that I'm going to be playing with. The FAZER Mark II gets oil-filled shocks. You get grease-filled differentials. You get a center locked gear, I believe, in here, and the chassis is very simple plastic. One thing I do not like about this design is what you're seeing right here, is that the battery strap is exposed on the bottom of the chassis. So if you are going to be hitting curbs or bumps or rocks, that is potentially an issue. It's going to be cinched up on your battery this way once you put a battery in, so there is a little groove in the chassis that it sinks down into, but it still doesn't quite make it super nicely flush. So I might take some black Gorilla Tape and go over the bottom of this just to kind of get rid of that catch point. Get, you know, double wishbone suspension. It has fully independent suspension front and rear, which is nice. Also, for the price point with these Kyoshos, you're getting what I think is a pretty nice build with some better materials and electronics than you get in some of the other competing brands. We're gonna go take it out on the track and see what it's like. You get a 3-channel. It's a bit of a large radio, but it's a nice one. It gives you all the basic controls that you need for dialing in your trims and your endpoint adjustments, analog style. So you have all those controls there. There is a calibration. There's some sort of like reset buttons on the back. The steering wheel is angled. I have shown this radio before. It came stock on my Kyosho Outlaw Rampage, and then I since sold it off and I put the Rampage on a radio that had a gyro system. But for this racing class, again, you're supposed to run it box stock. I cannot make a radio upgrade to this in the box stock class, so we're going to run it on this radio, and you do need 4 AA's to run it. I've already put those AA's in, and the power switch is on the very back, so you just power it on. And then the car needs to be powered on, and it takes a 2S stick pack lipo. So thank you to Genzace for supporting Netcruzer for all these years. So I do have many Genzace batteries to choose from. This is a 2S 6500 milliamp hour 50C, as well as I might do a comparison to see is there really a noticeable punch difference on something like this, a box stock brushed vehicle, from a 50C to something much more strong, a Genzace Redline 6300 drag battery with 130C punch. They have large battery tabs off the lipo cells to these giant bullets. They're meant for dumping a lot of power out quickly, so that's why they're designed for drag racing, but I've been testing them in short course as well. I'm just going to pop in this Genzace battery here to power it up for the first time. While I'm doing that, there's also one thing I just wanted to mention, which was checking your screws. It's always a good idea to inspect the screws on your RC when it is new, just to see if there's anything loose. Now on this one, I noticed that on the bottom of the chassis, there was a screw that is not screwed in all the way, which is this one. I could potentially catch on this screw, so I'm going to tighten that down a bit. Just go over all your screws, just check them all with these RCs. RC is on, power switch here, nice little rubber boot on the power switch. That's it, it's on. 2 beeps indicates 2S. There's no gyro stability in these, there's nothing fancy with these. They are 4-wheel drive. And the steering servo seems adequate. Steering system has like this torsion bar that goes between, and that's kind of the FAZER system. So as you can see here, it's taking the spring but not moving the servo. And yeah, so it has some spring to it. So yeah, that's the Kyosho FAZER Toyota Tundra. This is an officially licensed model. So we're gonna go out and run this on that race and see how we do against some of the competition. Okay, we're about to do the on-road section of the Parking Lot Wars. I'm going to go out for the first drive with the Kyosho Tundra FO2L. Alright, here we go. First ever drive of the Kyosho Tundra. Oh, this thing's so fast. That's us. Number 1, starting. Just scrubbing these new tires. All right, so as you can see here, I'm at a race event, and I'm up here for the first run, and first to 3 laps wins. This is a brand new Kyosho, first run with it. Gonna see how we do in this race. This is a great example of this is a short wheelbase FAZER versus the longer wheelbase FAZER by probably a centimeter, probably 10 mil longer. Stock tires on it? Yeah, stock tire, but it doesn't come with the same tire that yours has. So it comes with more like a race style tire on this. So these ones come with a more racy tire.
Oh yeah.
I also did the protect the battery strap mod. Well, yeah, you shoe glued it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last week we went out and ran this. It broke the strap on the bottom here, and you just glue it back together. All right, cool.
It sticks.
Did you find out what made it a little bit squirrelier than it maybe should be? Anything like that?
Not really.
Noticeable?
I didn't change anything.
Okay.
I just changed the tires.
Okay, that should help a lot. Yeah.
Round
race.
1.
FAZER versus
Here we
FAZER.
Go!
Oh, sabotage! Oh, Frank, you stand right in the driver view. Cameraman in the way.
That wasn't my fault.
Whoa. That's all it takes, one spin out.
There's way more turns this time.
Yeah, there is.
Last time was way more straight ahead.
Whoa.
Somebody's been practicing. Whoa!
Whoop.
That was kind of a weird turn.
His new tires work wonders.
Looks like it.
Whoa.
Here comes Ron. That was second lap. Whoa!
All right, second lap. This is our third lap now. Whoa!
Stupid manhole has got a magnet on it.
And John takes the first one.
All right.
That was the first race. Let's go.
Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. So the reason why I chose this car is because they have a faster top speed, but you cannot use it because once you go full throttle, you'll spin it easily. So having the slower car is not that much of a detriment.
Let's go to the start line. Let's get
Oh yeah,
going.
first it's you do it 3 times as well, so you get to do it again. I'm not going to record every one. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.